preparing for the next one, and there will be a next one, some kind of disaster. Start with an informal discussion, talk wild and talk freely. Build a principles list. There is no single scenario, but open to all is a good principle. It's the principle of our libraries. Set up a manual of best ideas and choices to apply so that you can apply it. It's a mosaic of options and tactics, but the strategy needs to be a principles-based strategy. And then answer the question, backups. What are we too dependent on? Landlines, internet, single contact point, electricity, building, washrooms, a supplier? What are you too dependent on, and how are you going to address it? And how are you going to make your service level agreements with some of those contracts working? And some things are common to all strategies for no matter what the disaster is. Does your library have a call tree? Does it have digital contacts and backups of those? Are they off-site or at home or on some digital presence? Some things are customized and special. Do you have storage of PPE? We found tons of PPE in storage because of the SARS disaster in Toronto. Do you have a bunch of extension cords for people to recharge their phones? And what are your analog strategies? And lastly, review your progress, metaphorical stand-up meetings, which is what I think Zoom is. What are we learning? Most libraries that I'm involved with did weekly meetings just to check in and make sure that the information and learnings were shared. And what do we know? And what did we learn? There's a difference between facts and skills. And is something changing permanently? So what's changing permanently? Work from home. What's changing permanently? The majority of our population can handle Zoom. The majority of our population is using way more digital services than they did before. The majority of our population can handle online programming, digital learning, and that has moved 10 years into 20 months in terms of market presence and our ability to offer our services. So we're coming out of this pandemic with a more digital ready market, and we still need to bring the disadvantaged along and have the services for the people who choose to live in a cave. What skills can we add to our competencies list? So on your resume, are you saying all the digital learning you had for the last year? And what can we stop? Loose leaf has become, it was always useless, but for many years, but it's really useless when you have to go into an office to file it. Some print resources are not good, but other libraries have discovered that they had to buy print for people to have at home. So the one library copy was not the right structure. And then the big discussion that we need to engage in more is how is this affecting our culture? Do we, when we can't hug or water cooler talk or talk about how our grandkids are doing, where is the social envelope becoming too thick and not as permeable as it needs to be?